metal.
It is a very important material that is very shiny and is used to build some very strong shit.
With that in mind, let me ask you this, and this is a serious big brain moment right here. What happens when you take someone who can manipulate metal and put him up against a guy made of metal?
I know! You'd get a very well thought up matchup.
Magneto, the metal manipulating arch nemesis of the X-Men.
And the Tin Man, a guy who was made out of tin, and that's about it.
He's wearing a tinfoil hat, and I'm not Broomstick.
And it's our job to solder, weld, and braze some metal together to find out who'd win a not death battle. Hey, I am.
I lied.
Yes, you didn't know. Now, let me tell you all something. World War II wasn't very cash money for anyone involved.
That's a very big understatement, considering countries turned against one another, millions of people started killing each other, and the general concept of peace was basically rendered void in the face of such turmoil.
Holy shit! That actually sounded pretty good.
But yes, it really wasn't very cash money for anyone involved, especially the Jews.
It is also here where Max Eisenhardt's story begins.
In terms of comic book origins, this one gets pretty dark. First, Max had to deal with the Holocaust, which... yeah! Oh, that's not all. After the Holocaust ended, he settled down with another fellow survivor and started a family. Psych!
He got cocked by a rich fellow. His house was burned down. He wasn't able to save his daughter due to an angry mob restraining him. The anger that led to that, leading to him discovering he was a mutant, killed said mob with his new powers. He had to leave his wife because of both the discovery and the fact that, you know, the general public and Marvel's pretty fucking dominate mutants. And yeah.
Suffice to say, he wasn't very happy with normal people at this point. Max, now going by the name Magneto, very creative, vowed to put an end to normie folks to ensure that mutants would be the ones to finally reign supreme.
Allow me to share my dream for this world.
Thankfully for Magneto, he has the powers and tools necessary to make that dream a reality. After all, when you got goody two-shoes like the X-Men standing in your way, you need something to combat the forces of good.
As if his name didn't imply it already, Magneto has the ability to control the sheer power of electromagnetism.
You mean he can control El Fucko Magdicum?
He can control M-E-T-O, metal.
Oh! He can control electromagnetism. Got it!
I hate it because you're wrong, but also right at the same time. But yes, Magneto can control the electromagnetic fields around him in a number of different ways, starting with his suit.
This armor set comes with some snazzy red and purple armor pieces, which cover his entire body, head to toes. Alongside the extra protection, since his suit is made out of metal, Magneto can essentially control it to fly.
That or he manipulates the magnetic fields in the air around him, allowing to also fly. Regardless, it's fucking stupid, but since this is comic book land, anything goes.
Don't forget that Magneto's helmet also protects him from psychic attacks. Helpful when you have a bald man in a wheelchair who can mindfuck anyone regardless of his position, who also happens to be one of your old friends. Convenience? No, I don't think!
While controlling his own suit is nice, don't forget that Magneto has lots of fun controlling anything made of metal that can either kill or, if he's being a bitch, just injure his opponents. The most common form of attack, with him, usually involves him either throwing something at the enemy or controlling anything metallic that they might have on them.
What MB is trying to say is that his power is very versatile. Give Magneto a gun, and he can probably just shoot it with just a thought. If he really wants to hurt people, he can rearrange things into shrapnel and throw it at said people. Or if he wants to try a more peaceful solution, don't know why, but he can just levitate someone and hold them over a cliff or something. Really, the sky's the limit.
The range of this power is ridiculous as well. For example, one time when he was in Paris, he was able to call back his helmet, which was in Vietnam. That's this far away. That's very far away. Big range. Boo. Big number.
How about the time he was able to reposition 37 different satellites that were in space so that he could threaten to start World War III by dropping each and every one of them on Earth?
That, plus he has a habit of just chugging things in orbit, ranging from small things like people, medium things like houses, to even planet-sized objects such as the asteroid Avalon. He likes throwing things.
He even likes to manipulate the smallest of things, such as metal at an atomic level, rearrange the molecular structure of steel beams, or being able to melt metal via induction.
Oh, you thought casually throwing things into space was bad enough? Magneto can also control the metal inside your very body. And no, we're not solely talking about adamantium skeletons, although that does count. We're talking shit like the iron and calcium in your fucking blood.
You know, just some casual stuff such as altering the blood flow to the brain to mind control people, can induce amnesia, give someone a seizure or stroke, prevent someone from feeling pain, force all the blood impedes to one central point, basically blowing them up. You can undo mind control, tear someone to pieces, can slam two people into each other, and make a nail out of someone's blood. I'm not saying he's Kenshiro.
But he kind of is though, just without the pressure point manipulation.
Back to more planetary shenanigans, Magneto also loves using the magnetic fields of a planet to its benefits as well. This can range from being able to create a global-sized EMP, being able to create magnetic bubbles that allow him to breathe in space, and he can use said fields to boost his own powers. Yay!
Or, you know, and I'm not shitting you, being able to create a freezing vortex.
I'm guessing being able to create a magnetic barrier that can somehow nullify teleportation, creating a magnetic force strong enough to block a strike from Nilnair, and being able to create a wormhole pale in comparison to all that? To the freezing vortex thing?
Maybe that wormhole one, but none pale in comparison to how he can also control electricity. I mean, electromagnetic does contain the word electro after all. No, not him! Something that kinda makes sense.
Ah yes, such as being able to shoot laser beams of all sorts, amplifying his attacks with electricity, or creating shields of energy around himself in order to defend from enemy attacks. Although apparently he also has invisible magnetic shields active at all times, so it's really just extra defense on top of extra defense on top of more extra defense, that being his armor.
But if that gets boring, he's always fine just creating a lightning bolt or a giant beam of light to absolutely annihilate anything in his way. At least that's more useful than Magneto's telepathic abilities. Sure, he's dabbled in astral projection like once, put two people to sleep and be able to detect the dreams of folks, but somehow, these powers are not only weak compared to the other bullshit he can perform, but they're literally hardly ever brought up. He's better at blocking psychic attacks just by putting his helmet on than trying to do the whole telepathy thing himself. He's not gonna beat Professor X, okay?
And that should be his abilities. Other than he's a cunning leader and has loads of experience thanks to his clashes with just about everyone in the Marvel Universe. We probably don't need to go into any other feats because with the shit we already presented, it's easy to see that Magneto doesn't fuck around.
This makes your team at least has one page of knowledge compared to Magneto.
Eh?
I would say that he does have a weakness, such as, if there's a lack of metal in the vicinity, he's at a disadvantage, he can't control non-ferrous metals, or that his powers depend on his mental state, making them unpredictable. But since he can manipulate the general magnetic fields of a planet, kind of renders all these points mute.
Because he can still do a lot of that shit even if there's no actual metal around, e.g. the electricity manipulation. Same thing applies to the non-ferrous metal crap, and he's usually focused anyway, so the mental thing is more of a slight hindrance than anything.
I say just blame it on shitty comic book writing, but whatever, comics are comics.
They're still cool though.
Kazoom tight!
Really, only things affecting him are that he can be overconfident at times, and the fact that, tier-wise, there are still characters that are way stronger than him within the Marvel Universe. Oh well, even then, if you are an overpowered piece of shit, watch out, as it's not wise to go about and mess with the master of magnetism himself. And if you're a normie person, well, it wasn't nice knowing you.
He really does enjoy soap operas.
X-Men, welcome to die!
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful land called Oz. Stupid name! I know. In this place, you could find all sorts of creatures, such as the Munchkins, whose voices could probably shatter a mountain through sheer annoyance, and are the only things shorter than Notwiz.
Well, you got your good and wicked witches, to even the wizard, who doesn't even show up until much later in the story, to the talking trees that for once don't originate from this channel. All of that aren't as interesting, unlike these fine gentlemen.
The first of which is the Scarecrow, who despite not having a brain can somehow still walk and talk like any other average person. You'll find the sense and logic don't exist in this realm anyway, so
Don't forget about the Cowardly Lion though, who to no one's surprise, is quite cowardly. He's also a lion, but he also shows up in Ruby, to a degree.
Oh, haha! Leonardo Leonidas the Cowardly Lion. Haha, Volume 5 sucks!
But while you got those two,
excluding Dorothy for some reason,
while you got those three, the most interesting of the bunch has to be the Tin Man.
Also known as Tin Woodman. Also a stupid name. The Tin Man is a person made out of tin and likes to cut down trees. That's all the description you need. That's all the description you'll get.
But the rest of the analysis.
Fuck the rest of the analysis.
Okay. Well, he also likes to spend his days cutting down trees and doing whatnot. The only thing Tin Man desires overall is a heart.
Ignore the fact you can move around just fine with that one.
I think he means the love conquers all, love is amazing, love is everything type heart. That one.
If you ask me, he's better off with that one. Why would he want some yucky organic thing always beating inside of him all the time? All it's gonna do is create an endless amount of noise, which is asking for sleepless nights. Does he ever sleep?
Good question.
You should ask
No,
him
it's
that
not.
when we get there.
Thankfully, due to a chance encounter with Dorothy and the Scarecrow, he had the chance to wish for what he wanted since they were off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Anyways, onto his powers and whatever.
He's made of metal. It's safe to assume he doesn't need to eat or drink or piss or taking huge ass shits.
He doesn't have to worry about taking huge ass shits. Let God!
He still has to be oiled every so often, otherwise he'd turn into a statue. Wouldn't even be moving at the moment if Dorothy and Scarecrow didn't find him by a chance encounter.
Oh yeah, thankfully he carries an oil can with him at all times. But that pales in comparison to this motherfucking axe!
Oh yeah! A plain looking normal axe is strong enough to break a flower pot in half, cut through rope, and chop down a door in just a few strikes! Very impressive!
But if he ever finds himself without it,
Sadly.
or just doesn't feel like using it,
'Cause
which
he's
happens
dumb.
most of the time, yeah, that, I'm sure a punch from him will semi-hurt. After all, a light slap to himself was able to launch it backwards like 2 feet or inches, yes.
Or you know, he could use the top of his head to spurt out steam at people! Okay. Plus he can remove the spout from out his head and use it to put out a fire. Very impressive!
Hey, you're forgetting that the Tin Man is very good at song and dance numbers. The Wizard of Oz has been turned into a musical multiple times, as you do know.
We move over to his feet already and we do that. Yes, this is the best part!
Ah yes, for starters, he can bend over while standing and not fall!
He can also survive a fall from around normal tree height. This guy is just flexing on us at this point.
Whoa, fuck, normal tree height? Damn!
Damn, boy!
That's not all. With assistance from the Lion and Scarecrow, he can climb a goddamn fucking mountain! With those two in tow, he was able to gang up on some of the wicked witches of the West's guards! All 3 of them! Well, the 3 that found them, but 3 of them regardless! Ha!
Thanks to being a Tin Man, he can resist the temptation to sleep from those poppies enchanted by the Wicked Witch of the West. He just got so bored, he became a statue again!
Plus, he was able to survive a confrontation with Leonardo Lionheart! He was so brave he didn't use his axe!
Plus, as now was pointing out before, he was able to put out a fire! Repetition for the win!
But most impressively of all,
Yeah?
the Tin Man
Oh?
was able
Yeah?
to somewhat get a heart.
Oh.
I mean, he didn't literally, but that wizard guy told him some BS about how the heart is good and some shit like that. So, you know, the wizard just gave him some heart lock and called it a day.
Meh, close enough.
You know what? I know a feat better than all of these and Magnetos combined.
Let me guess, the fact that we got Tin Man's analysis over 2 pages of script.
I mean, I was about to say that Superman once turned into the Tin Man. The Tin Man's been in a bunch of sequel books, films, and shows, but no one cares about them. He was also a Muppet at some point. He was in 2 Soup commercials, from my knowledge. Showed up in a Tom and Jerry spin-off movie about the Wizard of Oz. The fact that he appears in Lego Dimensions, and that he appeared as a black guy in one episode of Once Upon a Time. But I was also thinking about how we were able to get it over 2 pages of script. How'd you know I was
Future vision?
bullshit vision, right?
Close enough.
Anyways, wanna watch Magneto kill the Tin Man?
Yee.
Epic!
Yee.
Alright, the blowtorch is ready and the blacksmith's tools are set. It's time to forge a worthy reason to settle this debate once and for all.
It's time for an death battle! Mentally style!
Well, I'm certainly not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, why hello there, friend! What can I do for you?
Strange for a mutant you're similar to Colossus, but lacking the strength that he possesses.
Hey, man! I'm not a mutant! That's very rude to say to someone who doesn't have a heart!
My, you sure are fascinating. Let's see what you're made of.
That's it! I'll show you that a tin man like me has a heart!
Fight!
Take this, man!
The lack of strength is very apparent now.
Well, you're strong enough to stop my axe? Oh! Epstein won't work. I'll intimidate you with this. Oh, yeah! Well, I'll try this again.
Perfect, Dick. Let me show what you're lacking.
Hey, what's going on?
Taste the power of the master magnetism.
Golly!
What a waste of my time. Now, how do I get out of this pit?
Magnets!
Oh! So Magneto happens to conveniently take off his helmet, and the axe just somehow is able to lodge itself clean into Magneto's head? Meh, just an average Tuesday morning occurrence for me.
Average Thursday night for me.
Nice! Anyways, well, since we've got another Iron Man vs. Nate Kelly situation on our hands, meaning who won?
I mean, Magneto did kill the Tin Man. Quite easily, might I add.
But then it was the Tin Man's axe that killed Magneto.
So the winner must be...
Magnet Man! Forced funny jokes for the win!
I mean, people familiar with us, not naming anybody, should have seen the joke coming from a mile away.
Let's just hope that whatever Dr. Wily is up to doesn't involve him having a bad sex life, which would result in him finding another crazed doctor person. That would be crack.
Cool, brah. Anyways, there must have been something wrong because Magnet Man sure didn't magnet that win. But he did anyways because apparently we did win it so badly.
You sure don't need to go in Magneto mode to know that this victory verdict is very excellent. The winner is Magnet Man.
Next time on Not Death Battle! I don't know what it is actually, I'm not really sure!
To even the wizard, who doesn't even show up until much later in the story, to the talking trees that for once don't originate from this channel. All of that art is interesting, unlike these fine gentlemen.
The next episode will be a slightly altered version.
You're gonna die. I'm just saying.
Why, thank you.
But now the victory belongs to the Fantastic Four.
It's impossible! It cannot be!